Hello, I'm Erin Palmer, Team Rayceen Productions co-host and moderator.
And hi, I'm poet Monet, Team Rayceen Productions co-host and moderator.
Joining us is Darryl Moch. Welcome.
Thank you so much. Good to be here.
Thank you for joining us. Before we talk about your 2024 primary election campaign for at-large DC Councilmember, please tell our viewers a little bit about yourself and your background.
Well, I have been in DC for over 16 years. I'm a single father, and I also provide care for my senior mom. I've done a lot of work in community since being here, and prior to that, a lot of work within the Black communities, LGBTQ communities, and mental health field. Work in ministry. I have a nonprofit here in DC that I've been working with that is a community empowerment faith-based organization. And so we do a lot of work around the HIV epidemic, a lot of work about empowering people to be able to become their best selves. That is one of the markers of the work that I do as a motivational person and speaker, is becoming your ultimate self. And so I think that all of those experiences, all that work within the DC community and communities around the nation have led me to a place of wanting to be able to do more than just be in the work, but also to be influencing the quality and the legislative processes that impact the work. So that's my background, a little bit of my background in the short time. But lots of community work, community activism is a huge part of who I am and what I've been doing in all of our communities, from in all different ways, from our seniors to our youth to our elders, to LGBTQIA centered 11 communities. All of us together, I think, really make the difference, and that's what my heart is and where my work is centered.
I mean, wow, that is, first of all, super impressive. Okay. Coming from a single mom who has zero time, it sounds like you are also a single dad who has zero time. So I'm wondering, what are your top three issues? Because I heard you mention a lot of things, but what maybe are your top three if you could narrow it down?
And it is hard to narrow down because there's so many things that we need to face, that we are facing and confronted with. So I think that if I were to put them in some larger buckets to narrow them down, one has to do with economic security. The other has to do with housing and available housing, and also quality of life. So that includes things like safety and transportation, as well as education for our young people, and education across the lifespan. So it's not just for our young people, but education throughout the time frame. So I think those three buckets around quality of life, around uh, housing and affordable housing, and also around economic security, are critical elements that we can tackle, we can address, and we can face in this time.
Interesting. So you are running as a DC Statehood Green Party candidate. So
I am.
tell us about the party. Tell us about how the party operates in DC, and why you're a member of that party in particular.
Well, currently I'm the chair of the DC Statehood Green Party. I'm a national co-chair for the U.S. Green Party, and I'm the co-chair of the National Black Caucus for the Green Party. And the Green Party, and particularly, I want to talk more about the DC version of that because it is more relevant to who we are and what we're doing, and to our consistent support of across the spectrum of the political field. In DC, we are not adamantly anti anybody else. What we are for the people. And the work and our platform speaks to the issues that are about what people need and what people are wanting. And so our energy and our efforts are about being able to find the resources and to ensure that people are getting on the very grassroots level what they need. And we're involving people in the decisions that affect their lives, as opposed to people that sit somewhere in some hallowed office somewhere. They want to be catered to and considered to be a VIP, but we don't see them, we don't know them, they don't do as much for us, and they're not as active in community. So the DC State Green Party is a combination of what was once known as the Statehood Party, founded by Julius Hobson. And we had a couple of council members. Our last council member that served was Hilda Mason. And so we've had some good folks that have run. We've had some good people that have been on school board and been ANCs, not yet back at the council level. And so what we are trying to do in this particular race, again, is bring people, the voice of the people, back to the government. And so making sure that that our voices are heard, that are appreciated, and they're resonating really well. We, over time, merged with the Green Party that was formed in the area. One, because it had to do with a lot of ecological wisdom, a lot of being able to make sure that we are not losing sight of what everyday people want on the ground, the needs that we have, and not so much caught up in the large corporate politics that happen that then lead to all kinds of sort of decisions and compromises that are not really what people are asking for our elected leaders to do for us and with us. And so those two combined ultimately became the DC Statehood Green Party, and we've enjoyed a significant amount of, I believe, influence in the government, even though we don't have as many people elected into different levels of our local government at this time. And that's what we're trying to put a change to, and bring some new faces and new voices, new energy to this work, because it's work that we can do. Problems that our communities are facing can be solved. We just have to work with the people for whom the problems are impacted, right? We can't sort of go in a private room and sort of decide that we know what's best for them. They know what's best, and the solutions for healing our nation, healing our communities, healing DC, healing our state, the Douglas Commonwealth. Because I should have told you one of my priorities would be statehood. That would be the number one priority. But I think by the virtue of my party, that should probably be obvious. But statehood, I think, helps us to solve a lot of those other issues that are going on as well.
Thank you. That's so informative. Yeah, I think viewers it's time for some education about the DC Statehood Green Party. And Zara is reminding me that I didn't bestow you with the respect that you deserve. You are the nominee for the DC Statehood Green Party. So I just want to make sure that's clear as well.
Thank you.
Well, I definitely heard a ton of impressive things there. I mean, you've definitely got a lot of awesome things going on, a lot of wonderful things that you're building. But, as a native Washingtonian, I've got to ask, what makes you the best choice for Washingtonian voters? Like, why you instead of the other guy or the other lady?
Or the others. So yeah, thank you for that question. And I think since I've been here, I walked into DC saying, I'm coming. I wanted to be in DC. I wanted to be in the fight for statehood. I was here at about age 21 when something happened and the Congress overturned something in DC. And at that age, I'm like, what is that? What happened? How is that possible? When does Congress get to go into a state? And people are like, we're not a state. I'm like, oh, that's wrong, right? There's at that time maybe 500 some thousand people here, maybe a little around there. Now we're at 700 some thousand. And I'm like, that's just wrong, right? So that was one of the things that led me to, besides falling in love with DC at 21, I came here in the energy of the city, of our state, the people, the cosmopolitan. I'm from Los Angeles originally, so I look for things that remind me to some degree of home, where there's so much culture, so many different people blending together and working together and making life happen. And so I fell in love with this area and said, this is where I want to get back to. It took me a while to do it, but I finally made my way here. But why me? Why me? Because I think that we have had enough of the same people saying the same thing, doing the same thing, which is nothing. And the more we expect the same people to do the same thing, it's called insanity. And that's all we're getting, right? So it's time for not just the talking heads to be up there talking, but to have people that are willing to bring the voices of everyday people into the council. Every day that I go in the council, I'm going with the voices of the people, and I'm leading with that. I'm not leading now. I am not anti-corporate. I'm not anti-wealthy people, but I do believe that we've got to find a way that all of us can live in this place, that we do not displace people. That has to stop. We can provide housing. We can provide food for people. We can make sure people have living wages and good jobs. We can make sure that our communities are safe, that our schools are effective and functioning. This idea that someone could get a certificate for graduation is, I don't understand. So there are ways that we can do lots of things that make the city better. So why me? Me, because I can be one of your two choices. You can pick somebody that you want to stay comfortable with, and you can also take a chance on someone who's going to really do the work and really put that work in for you. I don't want to stay here forever, meaning in office. I want to come and do the work of the people and then pass it on to the next generation, because it's going to be time for them to decide what's next. I'm not trying to come and stay forever. I'm trying to come provide some level of camaraderie and insight to dig deeper into the problems that have been facing us for a very, very long time it is not lost on many of us that there are sections of DC that didn't get renovated until some people decided they wanted to buy it, and then move the people out of it. H Street, U Street, strong Black community areas have changed significantly, right? So it isn't that change is all bad. It's not all bad. But what happens when the people who are there lose their culture in that area? It changes the nature of where we are. And that has to stop. We have to find ways to stem the tide on that and to make sure that people are getting the quality healthcare, the quality life, the quality job, the quality neighborhood, the quality housing that they need to have to thrive. That's why I'd like for you to choose me, to make me one of your two. This is the greatest opportunity. You get to pick two. You don't have to just pick between all of us, between one. Pick two, right? You've got some people that have done some things and some people maybe not have done enough. You can choose between them, and you've got an opportunity to put someone new in the place who's coming with fresh ideas, a fresh vision, and an insight into hearing from everyday people what they are wanting and needing at every level. When I say everyday people, I mean all of us at every level, whoever we are. I want to represent all of the District of Columbia, not just any one segment or sector, but I don't want any one segment or sector to be left out of that conversation either.
That is awesome. Okay. I'm not gonna lie. I think you may have sold me. Okay. Now, I mean, I will say that throughout our history as a country, you know, we've had folks like George Mason, who, you know, created the Virginia Bill of Rights, and, you know, they weren't hearing him out. So he kind of left politics, but he left us behind with this incredible idea, which was the Bill of Rights, which eventually had been placed into our Constitution. You know, that's a huge thing. I feel like you're one of these people, that you are trying to leave us with the ideas that are going to stick and they're going to change our city. So our state. My apologies. So that is very, very cool. Now, I do have to ask you, you know, when does voting begin? How can people get out there and vote for you? How can they support you? Like, what is the best way for us to show our support for you?
You know, it would be great. One of the best ways is you can email me at nubianphoenix1@gmail.com. I do respond eventually to all of my messages, and we'll respond to you if you have specific questions or concerns or needs. Feel free to reach out to me in that area. But also, voting begins. The ballots are to be mailed out on September 30th. They start going out in the mail, and you can begin to vote by mail right after that, and shortly thereafter, the polls will open in October for you to vote early voting. So you can do that, and you can also vote on the first Tuesday in November to November 5th to elect me as one of your next two at-large council members. And I would love that support. Other ways to support: we are going to be putting out some electronic media. You can follow me on my Facebook page, my personal Facebook page. And we are building out a new website that is rolling out, not out yet, but we will have that out for you. So that'll be posted on my Facebook, Darryl L.C. Moch. You can find me there, DARRYLLCMOCH. You can find me there, and more information will be coming out. We'll put it out throughout all of our social media contacts, and we're still building. It's a small movement. We're building there. I was fortunate enough to enjoy some good support over the last few years of running. I ran for the city council chair in one of the last elections and got a pretty good amount of support. Obviously not enough to win that one. But, you know, this is one that I believe that sometimes people just need to take a chance to do something that gives them hope and inspires them for something else. And this is one of those times where you can say, I'm going to vote for somebody out of the box, somebody a little different, maybe a little avant-garde, maybe a little eccentric at times, but he's going to bring us some creative ideas and creative thoughts and some insight and some wisdom from years of experience and working with people. Let's try this, because we know what we've been getting. And if I'm not, you know, I may not be mad about it, but I may not be excited that I'm getting what I need either. So why not take a chance on someone new? It's not that I'm new, I'm just new to politics in this area, right? I've not been elected yet, but I've been around, and many people in the communities, especially in progressive communities, know me, know my name, know me from my work. And so you may not know me a lot, but you don't know a lot of the other people that are running, and they've been in office and you don't know them. So I mean, you know, all I can say is You know, my energy and my interest is to serve the people and to serve our collective good. I'm not sure you're hearing that from anybody else. So pick between us, and hopefully you'll choose me and upset the apple cart. Just do something in DC that is unheard of and elect someone who's fairly new, and who has a vision for you. It's not my vision for me. It's a vision for you, for us together.
Darryl, please remind our viewers how they can learn more about you and support your campaign. Leave us with your contact details.
So it's nubianphoenix1@gmail.com. That is the best way to email me and get me. You can reach me at 202-400-9197. Most of the time when I'm not at work, I am still a working dad and working person, so can't answer every call as soon as it comes in, but I will do my best to get back to people as much as I can. And look forward to putting out some more of my social media and more links to where you'll be able to find me over the next few weeks.
Wonderful. Viewers, please look in the description below for links. Thank you so much for joining us, Darryl, and sharing your views and passion with us.
Thank you so much. I appreciate the opportunity to be here with you and love the work that you all are doing. It's for the people. You all are amazing. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
To those watching, please follow Team Rayceen on social media and subscribe to the Team Rayceen YouTube channel.
And thank you so much for watching, my friends. We'll see you next time.